Today I want to talk about the unexpected results of a 30-day experiment where I wanted to find out what happens when you swap out your sugar for agave. Now, agave is considered healthier than sugar because it's natural and it has a low glycemic index. But those two factors don't tell the whole story. And after doing some research, I discovered some pretty interesting facts that you probably don't know. So let's go over the key points. First of all, agave nectar contains up to 80% fructose, which is far more than white sugar or high fructose corn syrup. Fructose has a very low GI, so it doesn't spike blood sugar. That's true, but low GI doesn't mean low risk. Fructose is one of the worst things you can do to your liver, even if it doesn't raise blood glucose right away. Here's why. Every cell in your body can use glucose, but only your liver can process fructose. This means that every time you consume fructose, it goes straight to your liver. There it gets converted into triglycerides, also known as fat. And too much fat in your liver leads to fatty liver, which can cause a range of problems like insulin resistance, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, stroke, and cardiovascular disease. And that's not all. When your liver turns fructose into fat, it releases these tiny blobs of fat called very low-density lipoproteins into your bloodstream. These particles have a lot of fat and very little protein, so they're unstable and they easily turn into bad LDL cholesterol. This is another reason why eating a lot of fructose is bad for your heart. Now, what about agave? Well, since agave is mostly fructose, this means that you're overloading your liver with fructose when you consume it. And this can quickly lead to fatty liver, even if your blood sugar doesn't go up. This is why many people who switch from sugar to agave don't lose weight or feel any better, because they are still feeding their sugar addiction, just in disguise. The other thing I found out is that fructose gets metabolized only by the liver, just like alcohol. This is why agave plus alcohol is so harmful in cocktails. They're basically like liquid candy, which is why they can make you feel really drunk without you even realizing it. Next, agave is worse than sugar for people who are overweight, insulin resistant, pre-diabetic, diabetic, or have high triglycerides. For most people, agave will lead to weight gain and metabolic problems because it feeds the sugar addiction, makes you crave junk food, and triggers leptin resistance, which keeps you feeling hungry all the time. This is why so many people who try to cut back on sugar end up craving sweets even more and giving in and binging. Not to mention that agave can fuel cravings for refined carbohydrates as well. It tends to stick around in your system for a long time, and it raises blood sugar indirectly by causing insulin resistance and fat buildup in your muscles and liver. It's not by directly increasing glucose levels. So yes, while your blood sugar may appear normal, agave is still wrecking your metabolism by making you fatter and hungrier. Agave can make you gain belly fat, even if you're not consuming any additional calories, because it increases insulin levels, which in turn stimulates fat-making enzymes. In addition, agave interferes with your body's ability to use ketones for energy, which can lead to fatigue and exhaustion, even though you haven't eaten any carbs. This is why many people who switch to an agave sweetener like erythritol or monk fruit still experience cravings for carbohydrates. Agave is designed to keep you addicted to sugar. On the other hand, if you're already metabolically healthy, meaning you have low fasting insulin, normal liver enzymes, and low triglycerides, then small amounts of agave might not be harmful. In fact, it might not even taste any different than sugar. However, this doesn't mean that it's healthy or that you should eat a lot of it. Even healthy people should use agave sparingly, preferably keeping added sugars under 20 grams per day. Now, agave is not as bad as high fructose corn syrup. The main difference between them is that agave is more concentrated. It's about 60 to 80% fructose compared to 42% in high fructose corn syrup. But because it's more concentrated, you need less of it to get the same sweetening effect. This means that if you compare equal amounts of agave and high fructose corn syrup, agave will contain more fructose. Another myth is that agave is better for diabetics because it won't raise blood sugar. This is not quite accurate. First of all, agave can still raise blood sugar, just not as quickly as other sugars like glucose or sucrose. In addition, agave can worsen insulin resistance and liver health, which are major factors in metabolic diseases like type 2 diabetes. In fact, focusing solely on blood sugar as an indicator of health can be misleading. Metabolic diseases like type 2 diabetes are deeply tied to insulin resistance and liver function. It's not just blood glucose levels. This is why some people can have normal blood sugar, but still have fatty liver and be at risk for heart disease. If you're concerned about diabetes, it's crucial to look beyond blood sugar and address the underlying causes of metabolic dysfunction. Agave can lead to fat accumulation in your liver, which can contribute to the development or progression of type 2 diabetes. For example, studies show that consuming a high fructose diet like agave can lead to the development of diabetes in animal models. Additionally, agave can exacerbate insulin resistance, which is a hallmark of type 2 diabetes. But what about the claim that agave is better than sugar because it's natural? Well, natural doesn't always mean healthy. Cyanide, arsenic, natural, not healthy. Just because something is derived from plants doesn't make it good for you. Agave is processed to extract the sweetest part of the plant, agave, which is called inulin. During this process, agave inulin is often contaminated with heavy metals and pesticides. And although it's marketed as a natural sweetener, most of these contaminants aren't natural. You see, agave plants are usually grown in hot climates where they re-expose to high levels of heavy metals, like lead and cadmium. These metals can accumulate in the soil and eventually make their way into the agave plant. Additionally, agave crops are frequently sprayed with pesticides and herbicides to protect them from pests and weeds. These contaminants can end up in the final product, agave nectar. And although the levels are generally low, they can still pose a risk to human health over time. Heavy metals like lead and cadmium can damage the kidneys and nervous system. While pesticides have been linked to a variety of health problems, including cancer, another concern is that agave is often processed using harsh chemicals like sulfuric acid, which can leave traces of these chemicals in the final product. Sulfuric acid is used to purify agave nectar by removing impurities like water and other plant matter. However, this process can result in the formation of sulfuric acid residues, which can be harmful to human health. Sulfuric acid residues can cause irritation to the skin, eyes, and respiratory system. It can also lead to more serious health problems like kidney and liver damage, as well as central nervous system disorders. Now, it's worth noting that the levels of sulfuric acid residues found in agave nectar are generally low. But the long-term effects of consuming these residues are not well understood. Overall, while agave may be a natural sweetener, it's important to be aware of the potential contaminants and processing chemicals involved in its production. It's advisable to choose organic agave nectar from reliable sources to minimize the risk of exposure to heavy metals and pesticides. Now, if you're enjoying my content, which I hope you are, and you're applying this knowledge to your health and you have a success, I would really appreciate you sharing your success story. So share your success story to help inspire others. The next point is that agave tends to stick around in your system for a long time, and it raises blood sugar indirectly by causing insulin resistance and fat buildup in your muscles and liver, not by directly increasing glucose levels. I mentioned earlier, agave is mostly made up of fructose, which is metabolized only by the liver. When fructose enters your liver, it gets converted into glucose, which is a process known as gluconeogenesis. As a result, your blood sugar levels may not increase immediately, but they can rise gradually as the glucose produced from fructose is released into the bloodstream.
However,
the bigger problem with agave is that it can cause insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is a condition in which your body's cells become less responsive to insulin, leading to higher levels of insulin in the blood. High levels of insulin can cause fat to build up in your liver, which can lead to fatty liver disease. In addition, insulin resistance can also lead to elevated blood sugar levels over time. This is because when your cells become less responsive to insulin, your body tries to compensate by producing more insulin. But this can only happen to a certain extent. Eventually, the pancreas can't produce enough insulin to overcome the resistance, leading to high blood sugar levels. And finally, let's address the question in the title. What happens when you replace sugar with agave for 30 days? Well, if you're overweight, insulin resistant, pre-diabetic, diabetic, or have high triglycerides, then replacing sugar with agave for 30 days can make your liver fatter and speed up the progression of metabolic disease. I'm sorry to be so direct, but most people aren't getting better. They're just swapping one unhealthy food for another. And I'm trying to help people understand that real health improvement comes from understanding the root causes of metabolic disease, not just falling for the latest marketing hype or food trends. Most people focus on symptoms like high blood sugar, but the root causes like fatty liver and insulin resistance are more important. Agave is worse than sugar for most people because it's high in fructose, which wrecks your liver. Fructose is one of the worst things you can do to your liver, even if it doesn't raise blood sugar right away. So if you're struggling with your health, It's time to stop blaming your genetics and start looking for answers in your environment. What are you eating and drinking? Are you moving your body? Are you sleeping well? Are you stressed? These are the questions that matter. Don't fall for the traps of big food and big pharma. Your health is in your hands. Take control and demand a better life. You deserve it.
Thanks for watching. Like, comments and share.